Welcome to the Spunky Spirit Podcast. I'm your host, Psychic Medium Cari Mugz. This is where we learn all things spirit, everything from spiritual gifts, awakenings, ghosts, aliens, and starseeds. Nothing is untouchable, but always fun and spunky. I am honored to be on this spiritual journey with you, so make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Hello, and welcome to this episode of Spunky Spirit. I am Psychic Medium Cari Mugz, and today we're going to just talk about a lot of different things. We're going to talk about a lot of questions that have come through my emails. But first off, I'm going to give you an update on some of the things that are going on in my life, because if you follow me, you know that there's tons of stuff going on right now. So this week is the wedding, my daughter's wedding. So that's what I'll be doing this weekend. I do have some readings throughout the week, but not through the weekend. And most people keep asking about Nellie. First off, I want to tell you, I have so many clients that reach out and even give me gifts for Nellie. Nellie is my granddaughter who is due in September, and she's got some heart issues. It's called tautology of Fallot. And so the heart chambers are mixed up, and she's definitely going to have surgery, heart surgery, open heart surgery. They just don't know when. And so my daughter-in-law, my son and her, they're going to Primary Children's this weekend after the wedding, and that way she can deliver Nellie there. So Nellie will be safe. Nellie will be in good hands. And right now we just know it's the best case scenario of a bad situation. So we're just hoping that when she's born, we'll find out more, and I will totally keep you updated, because I know you guys are rooting for her. I keep getting so much love and support and gifts and Go Nellie emails all the time, and I really, honestly appreciate it so much. You don't even know how much it means to me. So thank you guys, and I will keep you updated, not in the loop. And so I did have some time off in September because I was going to do a retreat, and but luckily I'm going to use that time to help with Nellie if there's anything that I can do in that area. So I'll still be doing readings, not at the end of September. I'll be doing express readings at the end of September, but I won't be doing the regular readings. I'll be spending most of my time with Nellie, and I'm also going to go to a Phenomicon convention with my husband, and I'm going to get it's going to be in Vernal, Utah. We're going to be by Skinwalker Ranch. It's going to be awesome. I went last year, and we are going this year. We're going to go to lots of different activities. So if you follow me in my Instagram or my Spunky, probably my Instagram. That's the one, honestly, that I keep updated the most. If you follow me at Cari Mugz on Instagram, you'll be able to see, I'll keep you updated on the stories, because I'm actually going to start, I know I say this all the time, but I'm really going to try and start doing more stories and giving you more information on my Instagram and social media accounts, just because I know you guys have so many questions and you want to keep updated on what's going on in my life. And usually I'm pretty personal, but I'm going to start opening up to that, because I just feel like you guys are my tribe, my spunksters, and I owe so much to you. And I just feel like I like to take you along for the ride. And I'm also going to start trying to do lives on Instagram. So live readings. I'm going card readings at first, and then maybe we'll go into mediumship readings just to kind of get me into the groove. But yeah, starting in September, if depending on whatever goes on with Nellie, I'll start to do lives, maybe just on a whim. So if you're not following my Instagram, I highly recommend that you do that, just because there's going to be lots of stuff coming. I haven't tried. I mean, maybe I would try live on Facebook or live on YouTube. Maybe I need to kind of maybe see where most of my followers are from and do it from there. But from right now, I mostly keep up on Instagram just because it's the easiest thing. It's so funny because I try and do all three of them with Cari Connects. I'll do YouTube. I posted on all of them. It's just kind of I need to get better at that. So So that's what's going on in my life right now, and it's going to get better. It's going to get good. It is good. It already is good. We got the house stuff. If you don't know, we were redoing in the house, which I have to tell you, when you redo homes or when you kind of, stir up the energy, there's other spirits, maybe in even good ones, they kind of get like a little irritated that you're moving things around. So I've been seeing me and my husband have been seeing lots of activity in our home the last couple months, not only from the stress of redoing the house, but just activity from, because we know we have, visitors in our home all the time. In fact, that's why when I first started doing readings, I did them in my home, but we could feel the energies. Like they would wake my husband up at night, and our room was freezing all the time. So we had to move my office out of the house because we could feel the energies in the house. So now I come in and I can feel, as soon as I walk in, I know the energies that are supposed to be here for the readings that day. You can feel them, and it's so amazing. I love it. It's a little different when you feel them in your house because you're like, this is my, I needed that boundary, right? And so now I love having an office, and I love coming in and every day saying hi to the people, the spirits that I know are going to come through that day. It's just kind of a thing. It's just kind of, it's fun to see too that spirits will show up a couple days early before their people do, just because they want to, they're so excited or they want to check things out. So always, always, always very loving, generous, awesome spirits in my office. And I love it. I love that feeling. So that's what's been going on in our lives. And so, just to kind of keep you up to date. And also too, probably starting in September, I want to try to go back to having a podcast every week, an episode. And I am doing, me and my husband, I think, are going to do that interview at Phenomicon. That would be an awesome place to do that. And then I do have somebody coming in for Akashik Records and some grief ones coming up too. So with interviews, but, for now, the plan is to continue to have an episode every week. I mean, starting in September, but it depends on what's happening with Nellie. So it depends on what goes on there. And I might have to go stay at every other week until we can figure that out. But I'll keep you updated on that. So today, I have been getting lots of different questions through my emails recently, so I kind of wanted to go over some of them and so this is kind of a random, there's no theme for today. It's all about different themes, different things that I get asked questions a lot about. So today I'm going to try to answer those questions for you, so that can help you understand some of spirit stuff that's going on. So the first question, okay, so I had mentioned in one of my stories that I was considering doing some Akashik Records readings. And here's why. I have a new person in my office too that I adore, and she does great energy work. Her name is Nicole. Her business is called Soul Rejuvenation. I think I don't want to screw it up. That ADHD that always gets me. And she's awesome. And she just moved in last week. She does things like Reiki and foot zoning. She also does crystal therapy, light therapy, and we're going to have her be trained in Tibetan bowl massages. And I love all of these modalities. Reiki is an energy. She moves energy. I think, now I might be wrong because I'm not, you ask me anything about psychic medium stuff and I can tell you but energy stuff I could be wrong. So Reiki is like energy healing. I do have her do Reiki on me sometimes, just to kind of clear energy, to clear and move that energy, because we always have pent up energy, right? Or energy that's inside of us that's kind of pent up. And also too, she'll do foot zones, and I love foot zones. They are my go-to when I need to cleanse. If I get all tied up in readings and I need an energy release, I'll do a foot zone. The light therapy I love too. that's more like a healing kind of modality, that the light, you get the red light, the blue light, the different lights. And Tibetan bowl massages is the sound healing, and I love that so much. But there's not, in my area, there's not a lot of people who do that. So we're going to make that available in the area. So if you live in my area, you can go and find all of these things that at Spunky Spirit Wellness Center. Now, Akashik Records. I do mediumship readings, and I'm an evidential medium. So I bring in your loved ones, and I bring in evidence that it's them. I love evidence because you can validate that. You can verify that. You can validate it. You know it's them. They talk about things that are going on. They talk about present, and so I love this. But I also am starting to have lots of people that come for these readings, and they want a spiritual. They want to know what their spiritual journey is. They want to know what they have done in past lives. They want to know how their past lives parallel with now, and their lives now, and what they did in past lives, and even future. Like what is the meaning of this life, and how it parallels with some of their past lives. And so those are Akashic record readings. Now, I can see those things, but I don't ever really bring them up in readings because they're not evidential. And people can't be, and I don't know, when people come in, they want psychic readings. That's like, okay, this is what's going on in your life, and this is what's going to happen, and your guides are telling you this, and those are kind of psychic readings, soul to soul. Mediumship readings are when your loved ones come through and they want to talk to you about what's going on in your life, or they validate who they are and your relationship with them. Akashic records are when the Bible talks about the book of life. And so the Akashic record is an infinite intelligence that all of us can tap into. You can picture it as a big library. You can picture it as a big river of knowledge. It's everything that has happened, will happen, and it's knowledge of everything. It's the book of life. And so you can have people that can tap into these Akashic records with your permission. You can even do it on your own, and talk about other lives that you've had and what the purpose is now. And it can talk about any type of life. It can talk about lives on Earth, lives on different planets, lives, any kind of that you've, because we do reincarnate, and we have had other lives than just this. Our soul has had other spirits that come through in different lifetimes. So Akashic Records is more like that, because I'm having more people come to mediumship readings, psychic mediumship readings, and they want to know more about their spiritual stuff, more about what was going on before they came here, all that stuff. So I am going to study and research and do all that stuff. And maybe if I feel comfortable with it, I will probably start doing Akashic Record readings, or past life readings, just because people are starting to question their spiritual level and question what they've done in different lifetimes. And so I will probably start having those available. Mediumship readings I will still completely do. Psychic readings I'll still do. But I kind of think it's fun to go on I've had a couple mediumship readings that go into the Akashic Records or into past lives. And some of you that are listening to this have had them with me, and they're really cool. They're really, really cool. So they're kind of like palm readings a little bit, without the palms, without using the palms. It's the intuitive of the reader. So anyways, that's coming up. So those are what the Akashic Records are, and that's what I'm going to be doing. Akashic Records are a big, huge library of everything that's happened in the past, present, and the future. And everyone can tap into those. You can buy books about the Akashic Records. You can do a meditation and try and tap in on your own. Nobody can tap into your Akashic Records unless they have your permission. So don't think that there's gatekeepers or guardians of the Akashic Records, and they hold your books very, very sacred and very, very protected, so no one can access that without your permission. So when you go to an Akashic reader, they do have permission to access those. So look for that coming up, and that's the answer to the Akashic Records. They're so cool, and I love learning about them. It kind of makes everything, kind of what you're going through now, it's kind of like parallel. It's like our soul has all these different lessons and all these different spirits that we've created from our soul. that go through not just this journey, but lots of others, and to learn different lessons and to learn different things, because our soul is always growing and always learning. And so it's really, really cool. So the next question is, how do I navigate through a spiritual awakening? Spiritual awakenings are great. They're awesome. And a lot of times when you go to a medium or you go to a psychic, you will start to have a spiritual awakening, because most of the time, mediums or people who do energy work will bring through something that just moves you or starts to make you question things or make you want to learn more or know the truth. Like, because your soul, your spirit craves truth. It knows truth. When you get goosebumps, it just knows truth. Like, when something resonates with you, it's your truth. And so a lot of times when you get these different modality appointments, your spirit just jumps for joy because they love it. And your spirit is just like, I want to know more. I want to know more. So you start to go down this path, and at first it's awesome. Like, it's this game you're playing with your guides. You figure out who your guides are. It's great. You're like, you manifest and then you start to do shadow work, because you have to grow. You have to change. Like, your spirit changes, right? And so you start to see truth more, and you start to see you start to tap into your spiritual gifts more. And to do that, you also need to tap into who you are and things that you've gone through in life, and to heal that so you can move forward, so you can raise your frequency. Because a lot of times we're stuck at a certain level or a certain frequency, and the only way we can move up is to start to heal. And so when we start to do that, just like manifesting, you think it's great, you do all this stuff, but then you realize, oh crap, this is actually starting to heal me, because it's not, manifesting isn't fake. It brings to you your authenticness, what you really, really want, and sometimes what you think you want and what you really need are two different things. So this awakening starts to be hard. And it's like one of my friends called it the dark night of the soul. So you go through things that you have to face about yourself, or face the things that you went through, and still love that part of you. And so it's not, and then you get through it. And I've had clients before that are like, I think I'm already healed. I'm like, oh no, you never. It's always a continuing journey. Healing's always a continuing journey. You never stop growing. And so sometimes you have to go through things, even future things, we go through these relationships in our lives that constantly come back and come back and come back to us, because we're not learning it. And we finally have to look at ourselves and say, why does this type of relationship, why do I attract these type of people? Why is this happening? And that's when you take this bigger look at yourself and say, okay, this is why. And I have to admit, that's the hardest part of this journey. There's been types of people that keep showing up in my life, and I keep thinking, why does this keep happening? And it's because there's something within myself that I need to heal, because during all my life, these people would show up and they'd make me feel like crap, and I would let them constantly make me feel like crap. I would let them kind of control me. I was a people pleaser. And so finally, when I was like, why are these people keep showing up? And then I realized why they do, and it was something within me, and I had to create boundaries with these people. Then I realized that's healing, right? That's your healing, because then you're like, okay, you can still be part of my life, but I'm not going to let you do this to me anymore. Or you could be like, I'm not going to let you be part of my life anymore. And so that is shadow work, right? Because these karmic things just keep happening, or they return, and you need to figure out why, or you need to figure out what lesson are you learning here. And so that's why spiritual awakenings are so crazy and chaotic, because they can be so beautiful and loving and awesome one minute, and the next minute they can be brutal. And so give yourself some grace. Be kind to yourself. Know that this is normal. Be gentle to yourself. Let yourself experience these feelings. Let yourself go through this. Don't judge yourself on how you're supposed to react. Don't just kind of try and bend like the palm tree and let it happen, because you got to feel those emotions to get through it, because you've bottled up those emotions every time, something like that's happened to you, and now you've got to go through it. And so you got to feel it. It's going to hurt. And so that's why spiritual awakenings are so freaking hard. And sometimes too, when you go through a spiritual awakening, you can go through a big, huge faith crisis, which your religion and everything you've ever known through your whole life, you find out, you see truth, and you see that it's not what you thought it was. And that's kind of like when you're little and you believed in Santa Claus, and then your parents told you that he didn't exist. It kind of broke your heart. But faith transitions are like that times 100, because everything you've ever known in your life is false. And so that is scary to you, because everything you've ever believed is not true. Kind of like that Truman Show with Jim Carrey, where he lives this life and everybody's watching him live it, and then he realizes this is not true. I'm just playing a character. And so when you kind of see that, and you start to see truth in the world, and you start to see all, things about different things in our government, different things in our religions, then it's hard, because it's makes you feel broken, and it makes you feel like you were lied to. And so spiritual awakenings are no joke, that's for sure. And so be kind to yourself, give yourself some grace, know that it's normal, know that it can cause depression, it can cause sadness, it can cause, lots of different things. And just know that you're not the only one. That doesn't mean it's not bad for you. I mean, that doesn't take away from your experience, but just know that it's starting to happen, because the collective is starting to have their frequency raised. And so lots of people are going through awakenings right now. So just know that you aren't alone, and your spiritual team is clapping for joy that you're going through this, but they're also there to help you and love you and hug you and unconditionally be there for you, so you can go through this stuff. That's why when I get Cari Connect cards each week, and they're hard ones about change and authenticity, I'm like, this is a spiritual awakening. These are things that happen, and you're constantly going through it. It's just not like, okay, I made it through. You're constantly going uphill on this journey. So be kind to yourself, be gentle to yourself, and seek people out there that kind of know what you're going through. And you're not crazy. You're not crazy. And I think I have a podcast with that exact title, You're Not Crazy. So go find that one if you're kind of going through this spiritual awakening stuff, okay? The next question is, what is a soul family, or a soul? Yes, so a soul family. So before we come here, a soul family is are people or spirits that you've come through in other lives with. You kind of reincarnate with them from time to time to time. You're all together at the beginning before you all come here. And this is kind of tricky, because I don't know where that cuts off, right? Like, I don't know, because we have, was my grandma there? Because anyways, but you are a soul tribe, or a soul family that kind of reincarnates into each other's lives all the time, and you play different roles through each life to help learn the lesson. So a lot of times, like, I know that me and my grandma, or me and my dad, or me and my mom have had me and my kids, I know that we've played parts in different relationship types in different lifetimes, and I know we play that out every time to learn different lessons. But I also know too that when you start to raise frequency, that you connect to some of the soul family more than others, or you kind of try, and I'm not sure how that works, if you all collectively, your soul family raises frequencies together. But I do know that you're learning the lessons together, you're helping each other learn together. And you could be very connected to somebody that is your enemy on earth, because they're trying to help you learn something that you wanted to learn. So that's why we always have to kind of be careful. That doesn't mean you have to like forgive them and love them here. It just means you have to not let forgiveness is tricky, because if it's holding you back by not forgiving him, then that's when you don't have to like love them and invite them over for dinner, but you need to move past you need to not let it affect you. So, because when you get on the other side, you might realize you both played a karmic part, right? And so we just never know. So soul family, are people that you continually incarnate with throughout different lifetimes. And sometimes they're with you on earth, and sometimes they'll be your guides. Sometimes it'll be so crazy when you get to the other side and you'll see, oh my gosh, I know you, but not from this lifetime. So different, that's what our soul family is. It's this group of people that we continually reincarnate with, that we will be together with throughout eternity. Like, that's just how it is. Yeah. So you will be together. And so that's what our soul family is. Now, the difference between a soulmate and a twin flame is that a soulmate is somebody that's in your soul family or your soul tribe, because we have a soul family that we reincarnate with all the time, but then we have a soul tribe who friends and things that intertwine throughout the different lifetimes, like, because we all have to interact with each other, right? So soul family is a little bit intimate, more intimate. Soul tribe is a little bit bigger. I believe a lot of my clients are in my soul tribe. A lot of my clients, a lot of my people, a lot of my friends, family, like friends, they're in my soul tribe. Now, some of my family members are in my soul tribe, but also in my soul family. And it could be vice versa, right? We don't really know. It's just those people that really, really connect, that you really, really connect to. Now, soulmates they don't have to be a romantic relationship or a romantic kind of relationship. It can just be a relationship that somebody that really, really changed your life. You could only know them for an hour on this lifetime, but they were put here on earth to change the trajectory of your life. They maybe you did a reading or something with them, and then your whole life completely changed. And so that would make you like a soulmate with them. That was the plan, right? You feel very connected to them. You feel like they changed your life in just the small amount of time that you met them. A lot of people think that soulmates are like your one and only and your twin, but that's not true. Soulmates are people that are probably in your soul family or your soul tribe that are helping you learn lessons that change the trajectory that you have a really strong connection to. Now, twin flames. Here's why I have a hard time with twin flames. I believe in them. But I also think that a lot of people think they're your other half, right? Which I don't believe you have another half. I believe you are completely 100% who you are, whole, and you complete yourself. It disempowers you to think that you need somebody else, right? And this is where it gets kind of tricky, but I feel like a twin flame is someone that you meet on this earth that's from the same soul. Now that gets really tricky, right? Because it's somebody else, because you have a soul, and your soul creates different spirits that live in different lifetimes, and those spirits exist all the time. So just because it's kind of hard, it's like the creator, and then the creator creates your soul, and then your soul creates different spirits. It kind of goes like that. Now that's kind of a deep thing, and if you can't follow me, that's fine. And if you don't want to believe that, that's fine. Take what resonates with you and what doesn't. But your soul creates these different spirits that reincarnate through different lifetimes. And because your soul is actually the one that's living all these different lifetimes, because these spirits, so my soul, let's name her Emma, because I always do, creates different spirits to have different experiences in different lifetimes. One of those spirits is me, Cari. And Cari, now this is kind of what I've been taught, but you take what resonates with you, and I could be misinterpreting, right? Like somebody else could, and in 10 years from now, I could be like, oh yeah, I was wrong. That was wrong. I misinterpreted. So just kind of take but a twin flame is when my soul creates two spirits that are living in the same lifetime. So my soul created two. So the soul that is my higher self has another spirit on earth, and that's why we're so connected, because we come from the same soul. That's what a twin flame is. Now, that twin flame does not disempower me. That twin flame is a spirit within itself, but the core of us comes from our soul, the same soul, and the same creator, which kind of like is so weird, because we're all kind of twin flames, right? If we all come from the same creator, that's how we're all connected, because our creator made us, created our souls, and our souls created these spirits that are learning lessons. And so So when we meet our twin flame, someone that we're completely connected to, that we feel like completes the other half of us, we come from the same soul. And twin flames are a little bit hard. They're kind of rare. They kind of are rare. And when you do meet a twin flame, the relationship can be pretty combustible because you're a lot alike. You're coming from the same soul. So just give yourself some grace here. They're not always like rainbows and roses. They're like complete and utter beauty. I mean, they can be like chaos because you're so much alike and you're so together that it can combust. So that's kind of what I've been told or what spirits have told me, but I could be completely wrong. Some other mediums have said the same thing, that they've learned the same thing, but honestly, we don't know, right? Spiritual stuff doesn't just fit in a tiny little box and it just is all nice and neat. That's just kind of what I'm feeling, or that's what I've been told from spirits or other people who have researched it spiritually, but no one really knows, right? No one really, really knows because it is what it is. But that's kind of what the difference between soulmate and twin flames are. Okay. Now, the last question is, can our spirits leave our bodies? There's a couple things I want you to know this. Except for, our spirits can leave our bodies when we pass, right? But there's other times in our life that our spirits can leave our bodies. This is kind of a deep question because there's so many different times. So, astral traveling, your spirit can leave your body, but it's attached to that cord. There's a cord that attaches you, so your spirit doesn't. And so I just want you to know, when your body's still alive and your spirit leaves or detaches, it's connected still. It's connected by a cord. The cord isn't disconnected or until you actually pass over. So there are times that the spirit can leave the body for a minute, and that's in huge traumatic events. Your spirit can disassociate. And so if you don't know what that is, you can look that up, but you can disassociate. Your spirit can just tap out for a minute. And I don't really know how that works, but I've been told that that's one time during traumatic events. I've also been told that during, traumatic events and like accidents, your spirit can leave the body for just so you don't experience the trauma, and then if you end up passing, then the cord disconnects. But if you end up living, then the cord stayed. Also, too, there's other times too when you're in the womb, your spirit can go in and out because your body's just kind of a battery. And so your spirit can come in and out. So a lot of times when you're pregnant and you're reading stories to the baby, or the baby spirit could be right with you too. That doesn't mean that the fetus isn't alive. It means that the spirit can come in and out, very much still attached to that cord. When people are in comas, their spirits can come in and out of the veil, still very much attached to that cord if their body's still very much functioning. And during severe Alzheimer's. In fact, I've had a couple of readings where the spirits, their grandparents or their parents have had severe Alzheimer's, and their bodies are still alive, but their spirits have come through during readings because they've detached. Or when they're pretty close to death, if people come in for readings and their loved ones are really close to death, I can sometimes, their spirits will come be here for readings. I can't explain it. It's a phenomenon that's crazy, but I've had experienced it. And so I do know that even though their body hasn't passed over, their spirits have left their bodies. But they still have that cord. They're still attached. So those are the times when our spirits can leave our bodies. And astral traveling, which I've kind of done a couple times, but I haven't had great experiences with them, so I don't do it very often. And I can't control it when it happens. Usually when I astral travel, it's happening in that Tinkerbell time, or it's happening like I can see my body. It's happening. It's a weird kind of experience, and I don't love it because I kind of like to be in control. So astral traveling is like a no for me. But so there you go. So I hope that these questions. I wish I could go through more. You know what I need to do? I need to do a live podcast and have people send in questions and have those be like, I need to figure out how to do a live podcast. Maybe I'll look into that too after this September, after things are kind of, because maybe I could do readings sometimes or answer questions, and that would be awesome. So there's lots of new stuff coming up. I'm going to start doing lives. I'm going to look into live podcasts. That'll be really cool. Oh, also too, I had an event last week. Was awesome. Thank you for all of those who came. That was a night of spirit, and lots of messages and loved ones came through, and it was amazing. And I want to thank all those who came for that. And the one thing I struggle with those events is I try and go as long as I can. I think I was going 2 hours on that one. And I feel bad that not everybody gets a reading. But you have to remember when I don't, I can only do so much. And I can kind of tell towards the end when I'm getting tired, because I'm not hearing the messages as accurately as I would like. So just know that when you do come to the events, I try and go as long as I can. But sometimes it's a struggle, because sometimes I'm pretty tired. But I am going to start making the events on days that I don't do readings, so then I do have more energy. But I loved it. It was awesome. So many spirits did come through and validated, and that was so great. And I love it. I love your guys's your help, like your support. Like I know that I wouldn't be here without you. So I love you guys so much, and I will see you in a couple weeks. And I love you. I'll talk to you later.